you're interested in learning more about why the Oregon fishing regulations consider soft plastics like the Storm Wildeye curly-tailed minnow a bait, not a lure, you're in the right place. I'm Scott, fish biologist turned YouTuber, living the dream, being the star of my own fishing show on TV. My job is to get you into fish confidently, quickly, and cost effectively. Here on Redbandia Outdoors, we talk about all things light tackle, mostly for trout, innovative fishing techniques. We'll talk about my homespun hair jig, the Fish Finder jig. But today, we want to talk about the finer details of the Oregon fishing regulations and why you should probably open up your fishing regulations in your state and make sure there isn't any wrinkles in there that you don't know about that might catch you off guard when you're out there on the water. So let's get started. I got the 2026 regulations here, right here. And just like every other year for the past decades, they read the same. They consider soft plastics like this and many others that are super effective bait. Why is that? How could that have come to be? Well, here in Oregon, we have steelhead. We have summer steelhead. They enter our rivers starting sometime in early summer, but the main peak push of them is in later in the summer and early into fall when the river temperatures are rather warm. They're probably at the point where we shouldn't be fishing for them, and sometimes they get too warm to where the fishery does get shut down. But a lot of the time they're operating in that 60, 65 degree range, and people are fishing for steelhead. And in Oregon, our Department of Fish and Wildlife has conducted research that has shown them that hooking mortality with soft plastic eggs, egg clusters, on summer steelhead in our popular fisheries in this state that everyone likes to fish, and many people have caught their first steelhead at. They were seeing higher rates of hooking mortality because of the egg clusters, the soft egg clusters. Now, this rule's been around for quite some time, long before the modern push of all the soft plastic beads and egg clusters you see now. This was back when it was just the real, the Lure Jensen or whatever brand it was, the neon orange egg cluster that was a soft one and came pre-packaged. I believe, that was kind of the main bait. Maybe there was a few other ones at the time, but that was the one out there when this rule was created. People were using it and they were, this is what it came to be. So it's been in front of the commission several times, or at least once, to change it, and the commission has shot it down and said, no, we're going to keep this rule and protect our steelhead. That's awesome. Thank you, Oregon. I know this because I talked to the person in charge of the regulations and wondered if it was just kind of an oversight that I couldn't use this soft plastic and many of the other ones out there on the market to catch trout in my home river where it's artificial lures and flies only. That's the key distinction here, everyone, is that it's not every river in Oregon. It's only artificial lures and flies only waters, which are the most popular trout waters. And the regulations are pretty straightforward. There's no real way around it. I mean, a bait is considered any lure or attractor, molded soft plastic or rubber imitation of worms, eggs, insects, bait fish, crayfish, etc. are considered baits. Scent is not considered a bait. That's a weird one. We'll get into that in another video. But just for today, any unscented plastic bait, soft plastic rubber bait, whatever it is considered a bait, not a lure. And so as I'm talking about all this stuff, I'm going to flash up a slide. I went through the research and looked at a lot of the states in the West, not every single one, but many of them, a lot of them where you would go and fish for trout, and you don't have to worry about this weird wrinkle catching you up. They all consider very clearly soft plastic to be a lure. So here in Oregon, if you come to some of our popular trout rivers or places where we have artificial flies and lures only, you can't be using the Squirmy Wormy material. This stuff right here. For these flies right here, which I'm going to be fishing today as a winter kind of pattern, a staple pattern, this Squirmy Wormy, this wormy material. The other real cool one, I'll hold that up right here so you can see it. The obvious Squirmy Wormy that you hear all about. This comes in red and pink, the both colors I like. Another one that I stumbled onto that you can't really use in Oregon, that's a killer pattern, for a killer pattern, is this Hairline's Mini Squiggles. So you can see this guy on my finger here. I've kind of wrapped it with a little sparkle on there. The Mini Squiggles, which I'll show in some other videos too. That's a rubber worm-like material that you can't use, and it's this stuff right here. It's hard to find. People are saying they're discontinuing it. I picked up a couple packs here just the other day with my Christmas money just to have it. So the worms, you know, that you see us using, or you see that are super popular in all these other states, the chenille worm is just fine. That's the one you see me using on my home river. I'm going to use this one today, which is the Squirmy Wormy one in pink, and then maybe this one here, the hairline mini squiggles. You can see it right there just in the breeze. It's super wiggly. I mean, that's juicy stuff, right? Can't use that in Oregon in artificial flies and lures only water. Put this over here to hold my magazine down because it wants to blow away. So quickly moving on, you know, that's interesting, right? That makes it a little bit more challenging, and that's why you see me fishing flies and coming up with kind of innovative hair jig patterns. That's where I came up with the fish finder jig, right? At my home water, I couldn't fish what my favorite lure is, the storm jig, curly tail in pearl, 1/8 and 1/16. So that's out of the question. Can't use that. Need to come up with something different. I can't move because I can't use a lure. So that's where I came up with the fish finder jig, probably about 6 years ago or so, playing with this stuff. And as you guys know, I fish this on VMC Sleek 1/8 and the VMC Neon Moon Eye 1/16. And then I also really like Northland Tackle's Deep VEE jig. These are excellent trout jigs to tie on. In the 1/8 and the 1/16, you see me using these on my channel quite a bit. And I tied the hair jig on there. It's completely legal. I've tested it for years. I've taken it to many states. This, hands down, is the best fishing lure I've ever put on the end of my line. I'm working hard and diligently to figure out a way to get it to you guys that benefits me and you both. But I designed it and came up with it and tested it simply because of this weird fold in the regulations that I missed, and now I am ultra compliant with and super happy about, because I have amazing lure and I can do cool videos with it. So that's the lesson for today. I wanted to talk a little bit about 2026. I'm still trying to get my 2026 fish. I haven't been out yet to do that. It's the 7th of January, and I want to talk a little bit about the content that I have. So I have a few things laid out here in front of me that I wanted to talk to you guys. It's wintertime, it's cold, there's ice on the puddles in the campground here, and you still want to go fishing because it's sunny and about 50 degrees for a few hours. What do you use? Well, I'm going to use some soft plastics on this river here behind me. I'm using currently, I've been testing for the last year or so, products from Eurotackle. This is Eurotackle's B Vibe. This is the 2-inch, a real small one. I have it right here in front of me. And as you can see, I've added a little feather and flash to it. The feather and flash just gives you that little extra tantalizing, super finesse feel that gets you into fish. But Eurotackle has the B Vibe that comes in like this smaller 2-inch one, a 2-inch B Vibe, this guy right here. And then they have, I just got a new pack of these. They have the 4-inch, or this is the 3-inch. I got the same color, the dark gray and the speckled one, just as a small bait fish that I can lay out there and dance around and bang against the bottom a little bit. We'll see if we can get some trout on this today, messing around. And if I do, the footage will be included in there. And you fish that on a simple, they come with you can buy them from Eurotackle, put them in a cool little box like this. When you set them up, easy to go. They come with a sweet little jig head. I've got another one rigged up here, straight to go. You see that one, just a 2-inch little grub. And then I like to put a little feather and flash on it, but it comes with a small tungsten jig head. That's a 1/16 tungsten jig head, and this is a 1/16 kind of ball head lead. You can see how much different they are. So it's ultra super finesse, cool little bait, and I've been fishing it for the last year or so. I've been wanting to get some content ready for 2026, how I'm going to do it. I've been testing this stuff. The B Vibe is the way to go. And just along the same lines as the B Vibe, they have all kinds of cool bugs. They've got the Helgramites that are about 2 inches. These ones are 1.8. There's a 1.8 Hellgrammite that I really like. And then there's this larger one. This one's like a 3-inch as well. So you have a 3-inch, you know, they have other flies. I've got some other stuff I didn't bring, but they've got a stone fly and they've got a dragonfly nymph. And those are all awesome. The techniques that I use, you see me use as I fish stuff like I've been showing you guys as the Euro nymphing technique with a jig that I tie a fly on. You know, you guys might not be fly tiers or whatever yet, and we're going to probably show you how to do this in 2026. We'll see where we get to. Super effective little rubber leg jig to tie real easy to tie. I could have you tying that probably in 30 minutes or less. Instead of doing that, you can just buy one of these jig heads, or you can use the Euro tackle ones that come with it, whatever you'd like, and slide on some of these soft plastics, and you can do all of the techniques that I've been showing you with my drop shot flies and my Euro nymphing flies. Those are all possible to be done with these things, and I've been testing that, and I'm going to bring that to you in 2026. So I really appreciate you guys sticking around to the end. If you stick around to the end and make a comment in there, Hellgrammite, let me know you're here. We're going to see you next time on the water. We're catching a lot of fish. Stick with us. This is Redbandia Outdoors. Catch you next time.